What's going on, everybody? All right, so I bought something today. And if you watch my main channel, actually, this ain't on my main channel yet, probably. I'll probably put this up tonight. It'll be on my main channel tomorrow. Main channel, Gear Runner. Go check it out. Subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Helps the algorithm. Thank you. Also, subscribe to this channel because I'd like to get it monetized so I can pay for stuff like this. But anyway, let me show you what I bought. As y'all can probably tell from the title, it is a Walther. And I went out today and I thought, well, I was off from work. And I thought, let's just go find something. And I was either thinking about a Walther or a Glock 43X. Now I found a 43X. It was a custom one. It had like a gray American flag on it. And I was actually just wanting like a regular black 43X. I actually wanted one with a rail or an MOS version, but those things are unicorns and you can't find them, so that's it. And I asked around, and apparently people are just trying to screw people over and sell them for like $800 or more, which is stupid because it's a 10-round gun. And even if they ban a bunch of stuff, all these liberal cities have 10-round magazine capacity. So I'm not sure 43Xs will ever go anywhere anyway. So if you're panic buying 43Xs, I don't know it for sure, but it's a 10-round magazine. In liberal cities, a lot of them allow you to have 10-round magazines. So I don't know. I'm not worried about that. This one had a 15-round magazine, hence I bought this one. But let's take a look at it. I've never even had this thing out of the box really yet, other than to show you guys on my main channel. So it's still in the wrapper. And this is a Walther PPQ. Now this is kind of like a tabletop first impression review, but I've always heard these things have amazing triggers. You can see it still even has the little flag inside it. I've always heard these things have amazing triggers. Let's try it. This one's not been pulled. It's not been dry fired. Let's try it. Wow. Let me drop the magazine out. That resets quick, very audible, no take up hardly at all. Boom. That's pretty amazing. This thing is crazy ergonomic too. I mean, it just melts away in your hand. It comes with a couple of extra back straps. The medium one's on. It comes with a small and a large. Of course, it comes with a lock. And it comes with two 15-round magazines. I need to buy a couple more magazines. And it comes with this mag loader. And I like this one better than the Glock one. This one kind of reminds me of like the Maglula, however you pronounce that, loader. It reminds me a whole lot of that, the way it works. And I just like that one better. But let's get into it just a little bit. I have something here that I really want to do, but I want to talk about this a little bit. They did have a Gen 1 version of this. You can see here, this does have the push button magazine like the American guns do. Most American guns have a push button magazine, but the Gen 1s, this is Gen 2, the Gen 1s actually had the paddle magazine, such as the HK VP9. The magazine release is right here versus the magazine release being right here. I don't know which one I prefer. If you trained with the paddle magazine, I think it'd be quicker because you can just come off the trigger, come down, drop it. You never have to really change your grip or anything. I can drop this magazine just like this right here, and I never have to change my grip. But the thing is, when you get used to carrying one with a push button, and then you go to something like that, you reach for that push button. Now this push button is in a very good place. I can almost reach that with my regular grip. So I do like where they put the placement of the mag release at, but I still think if you trained with like a European style with the paddles, I think you would get better at it. And I did change the paddles. I believe it was this one I changed the paddle on and put the extended paddles. I can't remember if it was this one or my USP Compact 9, but one of them actually changed these out. But I believe it was this one that I put the extended magazine paddles on, magazine release paddles on. Like I said before, the trigger is pretty amazing. They do have front serrations, which I do love because I press check my guns like this. So I do like having front cocking serrations. You can see that it does still have oil on stuff. This is the first time I've really had it out. It appears that you push this roll pin out to change these back straps, but the medium one is probably the one I'm going to need and use. The one thing I don't really care about this, and Glock does as well, is it has polymer sights. We will need to change those. I don't like polymer sights. I hate polymer sights. These are better than Glocks because they are 3-dot. I do prefer 3-dot over the normal U-shape dot Glock sights. I hate that U-notch sight. And this is way more ergonomic than the Glock. Is it more ergonomic than the VP9? That's a toss-up. Both these guns are amazing. The thing that edges out the VP9 is that you can change these straps on the side and fill in your hand a little more. But I'm gonna tell you, they're both pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I did like the CZ P10C, but I believe that these two are more ergonomic than the CZ. And then your Glock is just blocky. And you're wondering, why have you got all these guns out on the table? Because we're fixing to test the trigger. Everybody talks about how great the trigger is in this gun. So we're gonna test these triggers. Now, the HK and the Glock Gen 5 have stock triggers. The CZ has a Theta trigger in it, but all it is the trigger face, a flat trigger face. It does not change anything in the gun. It only changes the face of the trigger. So, or the trigger itself, not the trigger bar or anything. You actually just put it on the bar. So it shouldn't change the pull weight at all, so it should be pretty good. I do have a CZ P10S that I could have tested, but I felt like this trigger was probably better out of the box than my P10S. I don't know why. I've not shot very many rounds through the P10S. It feels a little gritty to me. I was a little disappointed in the P10S trigger, but this one was amazing straight out of the box. But that should not affect the trigger pull on this gun. This one has a custom Apex trigger in it, and it is stupid light. So I just threw that out here for S&Gs just because I thought, hey, let's see how it compares up against a custom trigger. And I have my Lyman trigger gauge right here. So let's get this thing out and let's test some triggers. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I think that, of course, this one's going to have the lightest trigger. That's what I think, because I think it might be 2 pounds or under with this trigger. This is not a carry gun by no means, but it has a very, very light trigger. And I could change the springs and get it, back up to around 4 or 5 pounds, but I just left the springs in it. I want something really light in this gun, and that's what I got. I think this trigger will probably be next. I think this HK will be next. Then I think the CZ, and then I think the Glock is going to trail behind because they're like 80 years in. They ain't never changed anything hardly. But I know people's going to say the Gen 5 trigger's better. It is better, but for the most part, it's still a Glock trigger. Let's figure. All right, so we are actually going to start with the HK. So let's get a pull here. There we go. Four and a half pounds. All right, let's try it again. You want to do 2 of each. We'll take the better one of the 2. 4.7. So 4.5 is what the HK has. 4.5. I'll forget that. You all have to remind me because I will forget 4.5. All right, so next we're going to do the CZ. We're going to do the Walther last just because I'm curious. So 4.5 for the HK. 4.7 on the CZ. .7. Yeah, that thing is pretty much spot on at 4.7. Now we're going to do the Glock. So 4.5 is still the top dog with the HK. Get this kind of in the center here. 4 pounds. Wow. The Glock just beat the VP9, which is supposed to have an amazing trigger. That's a little surprising. Let's try it again. .4.5. That rolled a little bit. I'm just going to try it one more time. just because I was having a hard time holding it in place. I'm not pulling on this, I'm just trying to keep it in the center. As you can see, it's running back and forth. 4.6. But 4.0 is what it pulled the first time. It might have been a little towards the bottom. I'm gonna pull this one again. I'm gonna pull this again just to see. 4.2, even down at the bottom, the HK cannot beat the Glock at 4 pounds. I knew that Glock had a pretty good trigger out of the box, but I didn't dream it was better than the HK. This one is going to be crazy light. This is the Smith & Wesson with the Apex trigger in it. It's gonna be stupid light. I'm just gonna tell you. 2.2. And that's why it's not a carry gun. All right, let's do it again. 2.5. So 2.2 for this, but you can't really count that because that is a custom trigger. But now I'm pretty interested in seeing the Walther. Let's see what we got. .14, 3.14. That's pretty light. And that's only like the second time that's been pulled, second or third time that's been pulled. So this gun ain't even broke in yet. And that's a stock factory trigger. 3.15. So even though this is a stock trigger straight out of the box, it's only a little over a pound more, a pound and a half more than the M&P with a custom trigger in it. We get some good sights on this gun, get some rounds through it, and it's accurate as I think it's gonna be. It'd be hard not to carry this. Now I know, Glock perfection. I love my 19s. I don't carry this 19. I actually carry the other Gen 5 I have without the half moon cutout that has the front cock considerations. But this thing is pretty amazing so far. I don't know if it'll shoot, but as far as the trigger pull goes, let me change that. As far as the trigger pull goes, it's pretty amazing. The reset is crazy. I mean, that's fast. Follow-up shots should be so quick with this. I really wanted the Q4, which was the steel frame version of this, the Q4 SF, the steel frame version, but this was like $600 and it was $1,300, and I didn't see that there was that much difference in a steel frame. So I went with the cheaper route with the polymer frame. I don't know if you liked all this, and I kind of rambled a little bit, but I thought it was interesting to see the trigger pulls of these guns and how close the Walther is to the custom Apex. It's just amazing. I'm a little shocked at how light this trigger is straight out of the box without ever firing around through it, because it's only going to get smoother. It's probably going to get just a little bit lighter, I would say. Can't wait to shoot this. We'll do a shooting video of this as soon as we get some decent weather. I had some decent weather today, but it's still pretty chilly. That's why I'm out here in a hoodie and a coat, and man, I don't like the cold weather. But I wanted to make this video for you guys, show you what I picked up today, because I was pretty excited to find this. I looked around at a lot of places and only found one place that had two of them. One of them, which was this one, was brand new. The other one was in the shelf. And so if you come in to buy the second one, you're getting one that everybody's fondled. So good luck with that. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be all right. I bought a lot of guns that people's fondled, so it's okay. But I did get the last brand new one that was in the store, and I went to some big gun stores today, such as Bud's Gun Shop, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and a few local places, and nobody had one of these. And that's why in the other video I talk about go to smaller stores, because some people may not think about going to those stores, and you might find exactly what you're looking for. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.